So, my name is Linda Peavy, and I'm going to be your host as you come in. Let us know where you are coming in from. Give that city and that state a shout out. I see you coming in, so don't be shy. Don't be shy. Give that city and that state a shout out. I'm in the land, by the way. I am not too far from Cleveland, Ohio, where the weather has just been insane here. Like it was 95 degrees last week. It's like, what is going on? Leah is coming in from Los Angeles and Chantrell from Florida. Look at Florida showing up. Amber is from Orlando. Amanda is from Prince George's County, Maryland. I am so glad that you're here so that you can get the correct information about what is going on with grants. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and I think you're going to be very encouraged by what you hear tonight. All right, Megan is coming in from the San Francisco Bay Area, and April Love Malone is coming in from North Carolina. Again, I am in the land, not too far from Cleveland, Ohio. So as you come in, give that city and that state a shout out. I have a lot of information to share with you. And one thing I would ask you to do, don't keep it to yourself. Like this information I'm sharing with you, please share it with other women leaders, other women organizers who lead either nonprofits or small businesses. Get the information out about grants because, yes, grants are still very much available and the money is actually increasing in some areas. And that is what I want you to know. I'm going to get started. I'm going to share my screen so that we can get going here. All right, that looks good. All right, all right, all right. All right, we are good to go. We are good to go. All right, so let me make sure everybody's in the right place. Grant writing for women-owned businesses and women-led nonprofits. And first of all, thank you. Those of you who were scheduled earlier at noon, we had to cancel due to circumstances beyond our control. So welcome the people who registered at noon. And for those of you who are on with me now, yes, we are live. So let me share my background with you. Yes, they call me the grants queen because I have secured over, it's almost $18 million now worth of grants that I've won, not just written one. And this is year 17 of me owning my company, LaPav Consulting. Every one of those years I've spent as a professional grant writer. I now teach grant writing all across the country to some of your smaller organizations, your private businesses and private nonprofits, but also to many of your larger corporations. I teach grant writing for the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, where I'm a proud alumnus of the Goldman Sachs program. And also I teach for the National Association of Women Business Owners and the Urban League and just many different organizations. I have a grant writing academy with more than 3,000 students, and this is my passion, sharing information with you on how to get this funding. And it's very, very important. That's why I'm so glad that you decided to come to the webinar tonight, because hopefully you will take away information that will allow you to move forward in securing grant money. Now, my undergrad and graduate degrees are from the University of Akron, Ohio, go Zips. And I am also a member of Forbes Black, which is an organization of Black leaders affiliated with Forbes magazine. Now, let me know who's here with me. Let me know if you are a small business, which means you could be a sole proprietor or an LLC or a partnership, right? Or maybe you're a nonprofit, or maybe you're both, because I'm finding that a lot of small businesses are opening nonprofits. So maybe you're both. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Are you a small business or a nonprofit? LLC. Who else? Who else? Who else is here with us? I see we have an LLC, another LLC. Excellent. Any nonprofits at all? Amber's a nonprofit. The reason why I ask you this question right at the beginning is so that you understand that there are grants for both. This is very important that you know. There are grants for nonprofits, yes, But there are also grants for small businesses. Absolutely. So you are in the right place. All right. Now, my background, how did I get in this space? Because I used to be a publishing executive in Pennsylvania, and I was there for 10 years. I got hurt. When I got hurt, I had to come back home to Cleveland to recuperate. Literally came home in a wheelchair and went from having this wonderful job where I was flying all over the world to putting everything I own into a storage unit and moving in with my sister. And it took me 2 years to even recuperate. And at the end of those 2 years, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a job because my experience was in publishing. And Cleveland, Ohio, if you know anything about Cleveland, it is not the publishing headquarters of the United States, right? So that is when I started Lepov Consulting. It was out of necessity, right? Because I like to eat and I needed a roof over my head. And so that's when I started Lepov Consulting. Well, one of my first contracted positions was to be the executive director of a nonprofit. I don't think I was in that job maybe 2 weeks before I was called into the board of directors office and told that I had to write a grant that would pay for my salary. Yes, literally, that would pay for my salary. I had never seen a grant before. I had no knowledge of grants. Literally, had never seen one. It was not in my wheelhouse. And now I'm being asked to write one to save my job. If you can imagine the stress and the pressure. All right. But you know what? I did the research. I did it. I wrote that grant. I won that grant. It paid for my job. And I knew then that you can write grants. You can win grants with zero experience, right? With zero experience. But also, it taught me what you can do with grant money. Because I know some of you, right, are tired of using all of your own money to help pay the expenses of your dream, right? Your nonprofit or your for profit. You're tired of using all of your own money. I hear from you. Or you're tired of wearing all 20 hats. Are you tired of wearing all 20 hats in your organization, right? I hear from you. You can use grant money to hire help. You can use grant money to pay for contractors, right? So there's so much you can do with grant money because keep in mind, grant money is free to you. Like, why not pursue money coming from a third party organization? Like, why not try to get somebody else's money to help you in your organization? So we'll talk more about what you can do with grant money as we move forward. What else will we talk about? We're going to talk about why we're even here and why it is so important right now that you're in this class. Then we'll talk about some grant basics. How do you prepare to apply? What do you write in the application? How do you write the application so that you're getting noticed in a sea of applications? And then I'm going to show you how to conduct grant research so that you're finding the organizations that want to give you funding. And then I have a bonus surprise for you. And then I have a special invitation for you. So don't go anywhere, stay until the end. And then we're going to do a Q&A. Now, speaking of Q&A, this is not the time to be shy, ladies. Put those questions into the chat or the Q&A box. All right. And I will answer all of your questions at the end. And just so you know, I'm here to help you because you need help. We need help as women leaders because we need access to funding. We do. And I'm here to help you. Therefore, you're going to get a copy of this replay. I do not charge for these replays because I need for you to get the information and to have it. So don't worry, you'll get the replay. You'll have it forever, right? And you'll get it tonight. All right. So don't worry, you'll get the replay. All right. Now, let's go. Why are we here? We're here because we do need access to money. And guess what? It shouldn't always be about loans. Like, are you as tired as I am of hearing about loans? We want grant money because grant money you don't pay back. And let me say this to all of you. You can do this. You can write grants because grant writing is not what it used to be. Some of these applications are only 2 or 3 pages. When I was writing grants, some of the applications, I would submit a 500-page document easily. That's not grant writing now. 2, 3, 4 pages, you can do this, but know that there's a process. What you're going to learn tonight is that winning a grant, because I'm showing you how you not just write, how you win grants. Winning grants is about more than what you write in the application. I'm going to say that again. Winning grants is about more than what you write in the application. All right, there's a process to it, and that is what I'm showing you tonight. Now, let's talk about what's happening with grants. Very, very interesting dynamic is going on as we speak. Now, we know that the federal grants have been cut, but guess what? Federal grants do not equal all grants. Grants come from thousands of resources. And guess what? Your private foundations, your community foundations, your family foundations, your corporate foundations, they are still giving grant money. And guess what? They have increased the amount of grant money that is available. Why? Because they're trying to fill in the gaps left by the federal cuts. So this is great news. There's literally more money being poured into the community from these different organizations because of the federal cuts. So you're in the right place. You should be applying for these grants, but also just consider diversifying your funding a bit, because seek grants, yes, but also seek sponsorships. Many of you should be seeking sponsorships, especially in your local communities, and then individual donors, and then your corporate contracts. Believe it or not, there are organizations that can get corporate contracts that are not major conglomerates. You can be a sole proprietor and get a corporate contract. All right. Now, there's a unique opportunity that exists right now for you because the federal grants have been cut and the local and community and family and private foundations have stepped in. They are increasing their grant money. And there's a little less competition right now because a lot of people are still thinking there are no grants. This is a time that you're going to step in and start applying for these grants. So there's actually a great opportunity for you to start applying for grants right now. The competition is a little less stiff, and there's so much money being poured, especially into local communities, but all over the country by private foundations and corporate foundations, because the federal funding has been shut down. Now, let's talk about DEI, right? That's the elephant in the room: diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, look, we know that a lot of the funding for DEI has been cut, but I'm going to show you how you get around it. I'm going to show you how you still apply for these grants that are geared towards DEI communities, because a lot of these communities you serve, we call it quiet DEI in the grant world. So what's happening is a lot of these foundations that are being threatened by the White House because they were funding communities involved in DEI, they're not changing who they fund, and they shouldn't. They've been funding these communities for some of them decades. What they're doing, though, is changing the language, right? So they are changing how they describe who they serve. So they're not using those typical DEI terms like women or Black, but they're using terms that mean the same, but they don't want to feel the wrath coming out of the White House because some of these foundations receive federal money, but they're still able to fund who they want to fund and serve their communities. And you're going to do the exact same thing, and I'll show you how in a moment. But the great news is that you have some foundations, they're doubling down on funding these communities, right? They are much less affected by what's going on at the White House. So your old foundations like the Ford Foundation and the Kellogg Foundation, you go to their websites, they are proud to say that, yes, we fund organizations that address racial inequities. We fund DEI. We proudly fund DEI. So again, be encouraged, because not all of these organizations have shut down DEI funding. And even the ones that are newer, like Google, Apple, Delta, and Costco, they fund these same communities. But what they're doing is tweaking their language a bit so that they can still fund these communities and not feel the wrath that's coming from DC, but they're still able to help who they want to help. And this is what you're going to do. I want to show you what you do. Now, if you are funding these areas, maybe your programs serve these communities, you don't change who you serve. Let me give you an example of what you're going to do. Let's say you serve Black boys and you have a youth program, right? Maybe your old phrase was, our program offers youth development opportunities for Black boys. That's who you serve. You don't stop serving Black boys, you tweak the language. So now you may need to say, we provide youth development for historically underserved and underrepresented boys. We know what that means. Or serving boys disproportionately impacted by economic and educational inequities. We know what that means. Supporting boys from communities designated as high need or underrepresented in STEM. You're still serving Black boys. You tweaked the language, you took out Black, and you talked about the condition. Same for women, no different. Let's say you have a program where you provide employment and career coaching for women. That's who you serve. You don't stop serving women. You tweak that language. So now you may say, our program offers workforce development support for those facing systemic barriers to career advancement. Women, right? Providing career development services tailored to those who experience unique workforce challenges due to caregiving responsibilities, wage gaps, and systemic inequities, women. So this is very important for you to understand this concept. So give me a yes if you get this. Give me a yes in the chat because you don't stop changing who you serve. You tweak the language. So give me a yes in the chat if you understood what I did. I took out the word Black and I put in the conditions. I took out the word women and I put in the conditions that they're facing, right? All right, I see some yeses. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So you get it. Very good, very good, very good. Congratulations on what is Chantrell on getting her certification. All right. Now let's talk about grant basics. What do you need to know? Grants are not paid back. All right. Now, for those of you who are nonprofits, I saw a few of you. Make sure you have your 501c3. That's your tax exempt charitable organization designation by the IRS. Very important. Used to take, what, 6 months to get the 501c3. Now it's only taking 6 to 8 weeks. So get your 501c3. Make sure you're looking in the chat for some really important links. We're going to be dropping links into the chat all evening. Now, I want everybody to look at this slide. This is very important. This is how much grant money is provided annually. This is from 2023, the last year where we had great numbers. But look at this amount and look at where it's originating from. Foundations and corporations, to a much smaller extent, bequests, but mainly foundations and corporations, $189 billion, billion with a B. That is a lot of money. And guess what? When the 2024 numbers come out, we're expecting that number to increase. But guess what? Do you see federal funding here anywhere? No. This is how much money that is being poured out into the community as we speak that have nothing to do with federal funding. So I need for you to understand that the money is available. Place yourself in a position to get it. And look at this number, 189 billion. Don't be intimidated. That's what I find sometimes. You might look at these numbers and they're large and you think, oh my gosh, there's no way I can get any of that money. Because at the end of the day, ladies, you just need what you need. So right now, I want you all to put into the chat, I just need a little bit. Put into the chat, I just need a little bit, because I want you to focus on the money that you need, not these large numbers. Don't be intimidated and thinking like there's no way I can get any of this money. Because at the end of the day, you just need what you need, right? And nobody's trying to be greedy. We're not trying to get it all, right? You just need a little. That's why, Chantrell, you just need a little bit. You just need what you need. And focus on the amount of money that you need, Margaret. Right? Nobody's trying to be greedy. We're not trying to get all $189 billion, right? Focus on what you need. All right? Now, what do I need for you to do in order to apply for grants? I need for you to become grant ready. Grant ready. What does that mean? I need for you to hone in on your writing skills. This does not have to be difficult. All right. Now, I love Grammarly. If you use Grammarly, give yourself some love in the chat if you use Grammarly. I love Grammarly. It is an editing software tool, and guess what? It's free. It's free. You download it onto your computer, and literally it will self-correct as you write. Ah, Amanda loves Grammarly. Yes, Chantel, you've got to start using Grammarly. It's free. It's different than ChatGPT because with Grammarly, you download it onto your computer. So literally, as you write, it will self-correct. It will give you suggestions. Why is this important? Because I don't want you submitting grant applications full of grammatical errors. And it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. So download Grammarly. And courtesy of Grammarly, we got this great article here. Improve writing skills dramatically by doing these 15 things. All right? Use Grammarly. Now, how else do you become grant ready? Get your documents in order. Your EIN, your employer identification number, your 501c3 nonprofits. Now, all of you, are you a legitimate organization? Do you have your articles of incorporation? If not, get them. Get them. The Secretary of State can let you know whether or not you also need a state certification. Some states, you need one as a for-profit. Nonprofits, it's required that you have a board of directors. Get your list together. For-profits, if you have a board, get the list together. All of you, get your letters of support. Where are they coming from? It could be the mayor, like drop names. Do you know the mayor? Do you know politicians? Or maybe community leaders, your pastor? Get those letters of support together. Now, you may need an operating budget. That's only a document. I don't want you to be freaked out about this term operating budget because it's just a document where you are indicating what you think your expenses are going to be for the upcoming year. And that amount is really going to be important for you because you need to know approximately how much money you need to open and stay open in a year, right? Over the course of a year. But those numbers will also help you to determine how much grant money you need. All right. And then your financial documents, of course, your balance sheet and your profit and loss statement. The profit and loss statement is also called an income statement. So get your documents in order when you are applying for grants. Now, I'm going to go through the typical components of a grant application and give you best practices so that you know how to best write these applications. Now, the first section that you will see in the grant is called the mission statement. Now, it is very important because, yes, it defines who you are and what you do and what you're doing now, your aims and your goals. But guess what? It does a lot more than that. It can align you to the foundation that wants to give you money because you're going to make sure that when you apply for a grant, that your mission aligns to their mission. Are you focused on education? Make sure you are attempting to secure funding from an organization, a foundation that also has a passion for education. And if you don't have a mission statement, that's homework 101 for you. All right, so make sure you get your mission. And yes, as a small business or a nonprofit, you need a mission. Absolutely. Now, this section is where you are going to set your application apart from everybody else. It's how you describe your organization because I want you to focus on one word, impact, using real numbers. You need to track your success. You have a homeless ministry. How many homeless people have you placed in shelters? And when they get into the shelter, what happens to them? Are they now able to get a GED and maybe go back to work, or maybe they're able to go to school? Track your numbers. You have a restaurant, you want to open a restaurant, maybe you've been open for a year. How many people have you served? Do you have any other programs? Maybe you have a cooking program. How many people do you hire? You're changing somebody's life when you hire them. Use real numbers to show you're impacting your community. Doesn't matter if you have a small business or a nonprofit. This is how you must write these grant applications. All right. And let's say you haven't opened. Now, how do you show impact? What you're going to do is write about what you project your impact will be. You can do this. If you are a startup, let's say you have a tutoring organization. You help maybe fifth graders in reading after school. You can write in the application, I project that once students complete my tutoring program, that they will increase their reading proficiency scores by 5%. So you can project, if you haven't opened yet, what you hope your impact will be. But this is how grant money is being provided by organizations that can show and talk about their impact. All right. And then when you are writing, you always write as if you are addressing an issue. Doesn't matter if you are a for-profit or a nonprofit. I like to use the example of a bakery. A bakery wants a grant. She wants to locate downtown. You might be thinking, like, what problem is she solving? She's making cakes all day, right? Well, maybe she decided to open up a vegan bakery because vegans don't have a lot of great places, right, to buy baked goods. She's solving their problem. Or maybe it's economic development because she wants maybe a community development grant because she wants to contribute to an underserved community. Whatever it is, whatever that thing is that you're trying to address with your organization, is going to lead you to the foundation that wants to give you money because they're going to be giving money in the same area. That's why you've got to know where and how foundations fund. And in order to find out how and where they fund, you go to their websites. Now, the problem is 90% of foundations don't have a website, but a lot of them do. The larger ones, most of the ones that you see that provide grant applications do, but sometimes you have to be a little creative in getting information about them. Now, all of you have a decision to make. When you are writing a grant, you're seeking grant money. Are you needing operating money for your organization, or do you need program project money? You can only apply to one or the other per foundation. Now, we love to get operating grant money because when you get an operating grant, you get to decide where to put the money. Is it going to go towards your lease, IT, to build a website, right? Salaries? Only about 32% of organizations give general operating support. Most grant money has to go to a program or a project, which is fine, which is okay. Even as a small business, let's take that restaurant. Maybe she wants to start a delivery service. That could be a particular program of her restaurant. All right. Or maybe she wants to start giving cooking lessons. That could be a project that she wants grant money for. All right. So decide operating or program project. Now, whatever you do, please always apply to multiple foundations. You tell me in the chat why you think that's important. Let me know in the chat why you think it is important that you should be applying to multiple foundations for grants, right? Like, this is not a one and done industry where you apply for a grant and you never ever apply again. This is like a marathon. So let me know in the chat why you think you have to apply to multiple foundations. Let me say to all of you, this is very important for you to hear. Grants are not guaranteed. This is how some of you are getting scammed. Grants are not guaranteed. Yes, Margaret, it increases your chances of getting one. Absolutely. But you do, Chantrell, you absolutely get writing experience. But also, grants are not guaranteed. Don't let anybody tell you that. This is how people get scammed. You be very careful out there and do your due diligence and your research if you're going to be hiring anyone. But grants are not guaranteed. So yes, you have to apply to multiple foundations. And community partnerships are everything, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say you have an accounting firm and you give a tax talk at the local library. I think libraries are criminally underutilized. I really do. I think they are phenomenal community partners. Let's say you give a tax talk, 1 hour tax talk every month. Why is this important? First of all, you can say that you have the library as your community partner. They're going to promote your tax talk. That's what they do. Libraries promote you. Why is that important? Because it means you're getting ready to be seen in your community as a subject matter expert, as an authority. And guess what? Foundations are always looking and seeking those in the community, right, with expertise, so that when you come back to that foundation and ask for that grant, they will know, oh, we saw you speaking about taxes at the local library. And this question about your community partners will be on the grant application. They can only help you. And oftentimes they're ingrained in the community, so they know where other funding opportunities are. They know. So they can maybe refer you and provide you with recommendations. And here's your homework. I need every one of you to name 5 organizations that you are going to partner with in your community. 5, name 5. That's your homework. And no, you don't need to have completed the partnerships by the time you apply for the grant. You can literally write their names in the grant application and say that you are working towards establishing partnerships. But it's everything. Collaborations. Foundations really expect you to be able to collaborate. Now we're on to the money. This is how you're going to state ways in which you will expend the grant money on your resources. Whatever you do, itemize those expenses. Let's say you want a $50,000 grant for an executive director. You can't just say, I need 50 grand for an ED. You have to itemize, right? Maybe it's a contractor. Okay, so how much money are you paying the person an hour? How many hours are they working a week? How many weeks out of the year? Just itemize. You want supplies? How many supplies do you need? And who's using the supplies? The budget narrative is your description of how you're using the grant money. And here's a clue. I always include a budget narrative, even if the excuse me, grant application doesn't ask for one, because I want the foundation to always know that I know that I need to connect the grant money back to the mission of the organization and how the money is being used. So keep that in mind. Now, this is the slide here that I want you to take away. Look, if you don't take anything else away from this webinar, this is the slide. This oftentimes is the deciding factor as to whether or not you're going to get the grant. Did you meet with the foundation first? You've got to build a relationship. You meet with them. They want to meet with you. They're considering giving you grant money. You want to meet with them. You're trying to get their grant funding. And in this meeting, they will share information with you about the grant that is not on their website. This meeting is critical. I probably set up 1,000 of these meetings in the last 16 years. I always think about one. My client got $30,000 after a 30-minute meeting. A Zoom meeting, by the way. Yes, I said Zoom. But remember, a lot of these grants are nationwide, so you're not meeting with them in person. The only time I recommend you meet with the foundation in person is if they're in close proximity to where you are located. Then meet with them in person. If not, these are Zoom meetings, right? Zoom meetings. And oftentimes these foundations, they will give you insight about the grant that you need for that grant application. So meet with them, create this relationship. It may be the deciding factor as to whether or not you get the grant. Now, I know a lot of you might be shying away saying, Linda, it sounds good, but I don't have time. I don't have time to write grants. But remember what I said to you at the beginning? A lot of grant applications are what? 2, 3 pages, 2 or 3 pages, right? And AI totally gives you your time back. If you use artificial intelligence like ChatGPT to help you write grants, you are going to get your time back, right? So I want you to be able to do this. And I have a question for all of you, and I would love an answer in the chat, especially those of you who are thinking, I don't have time. Do you have time to get free money? Like, do you have time to get free money? Let me know in the chat. I don't know if anybody has time to get free money. Let me check the chat and see if anybody has time to get free money. Let's see. I see. Yes, I see. I have plenty of time. I see. I have plenty of time. Yes, everything is being recorded and you will get the recording tonight. I see. I have time. It sounds like you have time to get this free money. That means I need for you to spend just a little bit of time on the process. The process to get the free money. Now, before I go to grant research, let me say to you really quickly how you're going to do this, how you're going to meet with that foundation. You're going to send an email, right? In the email, you're going to describe your organization, but you're going to align your mission and align what you do to the mission of that organization. And then you're going to ask for a meeting. Whatever you do not ask for money in that email because you're going to get a rejection letter if you do. You ask for a meeting, and in the meeting, then you ask for money. All right, so that's how you set up the meeting with the foundation. Now, this is how you find the grants, and please use a portal. Google is fine for some things, but not everything. I want you to use a grant portal that is literally set up for you to find grants. Foundation Directory Online is the leading source of information on grants in the U.S. They're $50 a month, or guess what? Free at your local library. Free, free, free. Grants.gov, that's the source for federal grants. Lilly Foundation, that's the largest funder of religious organizations. So if you have a church or a faith-based organization, yes, you can get grants. Still, grantwatch.com is $20 a week. I love them. They give you information about the grant, the synopsis, the link to the application, the deadline, the sponsor's contact information, $20 a week or $200 for the whole year. Grant Watch. Grant Station, they also give you information about the grants and the organization providing the grants. $200 for the whole year. UrbanAwarenessUSA.org, they're Black owned. They drop maybe 3 and 4 grants every week. Get on their email list. It's free. Now, let me show you really quickly. This is Grant Watch. This is how you find grants for you, specifically for your organization. You include whether you are a nonprofit or a business. You check the box here. Look to the left there. You start completing these filters. This is Grant Watch. So therefore, you're going to include your area of interest, your target population, where you're located. You push a button, you get a list of grants. For those of you who are international, these search portals are for you as well. You don't have to live here in the US. You could live in Belize and ask for grant money in Belize, right? And still get grants, right? But for those of you who are here in the US, let me give you a clue, because a lot of you, I believe you leave money on the table. Start local. Start local. It's easier to get grant money locally. And let me put it that way. It's easier to get grant money locally. But don't disregard your national funders. Don't disregard them, because they also give grant funding. And guess what? They could be in Texas and you could be in Tennessee and you could still get grant money from them. Make sure you're looking outside of your state for grants. All right. So look for local, look for national, and yes, keep in mind there are international grants as well. Now, I just put up this list here so that you understand that regardless of what you are seeing on TV or reading in the media, there are grants available for you as a woman. And again, whatever you do, a lot of these local organizations are increasing their funding. HelloAlice.com, that is a source. I think there are 6 grants on there right now, especially for women-led organizations. Main Street grant, do you have a brick and mortar, maybe a physical location? That grant is available. Amber Grants for Women, they provide $30,000 every single month, including grants for startups. 37angels.com, maybe you need a significant amount of money. They will provide up to $150,000 in investment money for you. And then I Fund Women, they have a lot of international grants. Are you a startup? Sky's the limit. They provide grants for startups. Amarillo, they provide grants for super small organizations. So yes, you can be a solopreneur and get grants. You don't need to be some huge organization. Or you might be saying, Linda, oh, I'm too small, or I don't even have an organizational chart and I don't even pay myself funding. That's okay. You can still get grant money. Grants are provided to all volunteer organizations. So yes, the money is still available. Now, really quickly, I want you to drop into the chat. What is the first thing that comes to your mind right now when you think about banks and money? Banks and money. Banks and money. Let me know. What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Banks and money. Let's see what we got. Banks and money. Loans, yes. Interest. Did you know that banks are some of the largest providers of grant money in the United States? Grant money, free money. You've not been going to the right person at your bank. It's not your branch manager. It's usually a VP, like a VP of economic development or community redevelopment. It doesn't have to be your bank. It could be a bank with maybe a really good presence in your community, a good footprint. Maybe it's a regional bank, a headquarters bank. Now I'm giving you 4 hot leads right now. All of these banks provide grant money. Truist, they provide to small businesses and nonprofits. TD Banks, they provide to nonprofits. Wells Fargo, they provide to for-profits and nonprofits. Bank of America, they provide to both. So no, you don't have to solely go to foundations for grant money. Banks provide grants. This is what I need for you to understand, that grant money comes from so many different sources outside of the federal government. So please don't be discouraged. Please keep applying for these grants. Let's talk about ChatGPT for a moment. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal tool, but what you're not going to do is use it as a complete replacement. It's not a replacement. This is where you may get into trouble, right? It's a tool. It can re-edit, it can rewrite, it can do some research, it can help you write faster and better grants. It is a remarkable tool, but it's not a replacement. You need to understand how to write just the basics about your organization. Because what you want to do if you're working with ChatGPT is to feed it that information, and it will elaborate, it will make it better. But you've got to understand how to write your need statement, your mission statement, your project, your service. Understand the basics. This is another way in which people get scammed because they don't know the basics of that grant application. And they just hand everything over to somebody else without understanding that there are questions that that grant writer should be asking them. And then you feed this information into AI and it can make it better. But there's no getting around you understanding how you put together that application. And that brings me to the bonus surprise. I have a way to help you. I've written a grant writing course. I teach you how to write the basics about your organization so that you can start applying for grants. And yes, you can use it in conjunction with AI, absolutely, to write better and faster. This is how I won $17 million. I put it in a course because there are some things that ChatGPT will never be able to do. That's why I include coaching with this course, right? I'm the little secret weapon that's going to help you get approved for grants. I'm going to serve as your grant coach. The course you will take and it will teach you how to write your grant application. It will teach you how to find grants. But here's where the coaching comes in. Maybe you meet with them. Maybe you meet with the foundation. Do you know what to say in the meeting? Do you know what you should bring? Do you know what you never walk away from that meeting without knowing? The course will teach you how to write the budget, but do you know how much money to ask for? You come into our private Facebook group and you ask questions there and you get the help you need. I'm in there all the time. You get the support you need. You come in there, you ask your grant questions and you get your help. So we can tell you how much money you should be asking for based on your budget, whether it should be operating money or program project money, right? We'll tell you what you say in that meeting, what you bring to that meeting, right? Because that is what is going to place you in the best possible position to get grants, is the coaching and the course. You get 12 modules, 35 lessons, 30 videos, but I built this course based on real grant applications because I was hired to create grant questions. And so the questions that you see in the course are the same that you're going to see or similar in a grant application, only now you've got help in answering the questions. So now you go through the questions. When you're done, you have a template. You're going to use that template with all those great answers that you got because you had help. You're going to use that template and start applying for grant after grant after grant after grant. This is why it's faster and easier. You do it here with help. We give you all the help you need to complete that course and create that template so that you can start applying for grants, right? And yes, you do get actual grant examples. You need to see what a winning grant looks like, and they're all throughout the course. And we have bonuses. Remember I said, I'm here to help. You get a list of over 600 organizations providing grants, 600. The private Facebook group is everything. Oh my gosh. The students and the group, they provide more grants than I do. If you want to know where there are recent grants, come into the Facebook group. We're always posting grants. And then you get 1 hour of monthly group coaching with me, right? That's a live session that I host. The last one was, oh my gosh, almost 3 hours because I stay until the last question has been answered because I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. And those that are in this course, they're serious about getting grant money, right? Now, look at these numbers here. You're not even paying a fraction of what you see, but these numbers are very important because I've had this course audited 3 times. And this is what the course is worth. 12 modules, 35 lessons worth $3,549. The videos are worth $599. The funding list is worth $499. The workbooks and the planners and the grant trackers are worth $350. But I don't use this course as another hurdle for you. I'm trying to remove hurdles out of your way. And I don't want my course to be another challenge put in front of you to keep you from learning how to get these grants. So I charge a fraction of what the course is worth because I know it is proven. And right now, women-led organizations are getting 6-figure grants that have taken this course and are in this course right now as we speak, even with everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. This is why I wholeheartedly believe that if you're going to be seeking grants, do so in a community where you can get the help that you need. And the course is normally $997. Because of everything that's been going on this year, it's been reduced to $497 so that it can be more affordable. You helped on the webinar. You get to take another $200 off. You're paying $297 for a course that will give you the help that you need. So you get the course, you get the Facebook group, right? You get the group coaching. We're trying to get you to the point where you're getting this funding. Make sure you use the code that we're offering, JUNE30, to take off the $200. $297 is what you're paying for everything. And even if you need a little more help, we give you a 2-month payment plan. That's $175 a month for 2 months. Use the code. It's actually JUNE30 with a T behind it. So if you want the 2-month payment plan, use the code JUNE30 with a T behind it. T for 2-month payment plan. If you just want to pay the $297, use the code JUNE30. And you read right at the bottom, the course never expires. I'm here to help you. You get the course, the Facebook group, the coaching. Everything's tax deductible. Write it off. And then you get a certificate when you're done. And guess what? We give you templates. Remember I talked about you sending an email to meet with the foundation? I have a template for you. I have a partnership template. You want to create those partnerships. I have a grant application template. I have financial templates. I have the templates that you need so that you can get the help that you need. All right. So if you want to buy the course, the link is in the chat. JUNE30 for the $297. That'll take off the $200. And then the 2-month payment is $175 a month for 2 months. Put a T on the end of the code, JUNE30 with the little T. And you have until July 4th. Like I'm expanding it. Usually you only get 3 days, but I'm giving you 4 days until Friday. right? Right? So like this literally can be your financial freedom, right? Because I know you're tired of using your own money. So if you want the course, if you want the help, right? The link is in the chat. And I'm giving you a bonus that's worth $200. I wrote the AI guide that is an introduction to AI when you're writing grants. It's called AI Guide 10 Steps to Easier and Faster Grant Writing. I don't want time to be an issue. So I'm showing you how to use AI to write grants faster and better. And I even give you the bonus prompts. If you know anything about grant writing, you know it's all about the prompts. You're going to get this free if you buy the course between now and Friday. You'll get it totally free because I want you to be successful. You want to buy the course? Click the link. You're going to come to this page. Hit purchase now. This is for the $297 price. One and done, $297. Hit the purchase now price. You'll come to this page here, $497. Have a coupon. Input your coupon. You're only paying $297. Input the coupon, JUNE30. It will take off $200. You're paying $297. This little block here, that is a private session between you and me. I do a deep dive into your organization. Before we talk about grants, I'm going to look at your mission and your vision and your infrastructure and your services. And you even leave with a little mini list of grants. It's a strategy session for you, just for you, you and me, private session. You get the strategy notes and even the video. It's $495 is what people pay for the hour. The only time you see it reduced to $195, you got the opportunity right now. When you buy it with the course, it's reduced to $195. All right. Now we also offer, Affirm Afterpay and Klarna. So you know what that means for the $300, 4 months same as cash. That's $75 a month that you're paying to learn how to write grants and to learn how to write grants even with AI so that you can start getting grant funding. So yes, we have buy now, pay later. When you are buying the course, input your coupon code. It will take it to $297. Click this box if you want the private grant coaching. But if you want the 4 months same as cash, when you get to the payment method, keep hitting a box that says pay another way or alternative payment options until you see Affirm pop up or Klarna or Afterpay. Now, if you just want to pay with a credit card, we accept credit cards or PayPal or a bank withdrawal statement, or even we have Cash App and Google Pay. All right. Now, if you want to just pay us twice and be done, you can do that. We have payment options 2 times. You're paying $175 a month for 2 months and then you're done. Hit the payment option. The payment plan option is 2 times $275. Hit purchase now. It will take you to this page, but you're not paying $275 a month. You're only paying $175 a month because you have a coupon that's very important. Put in JUNE30 with the little T. It will take off $100 a month. You're paying $175 a month for 2 months, and then you are done. And yes, you can add the private group coaching session. You and me, we do a deep dive. And you may have like 10 different ideas in your head, right? When you leave that meeting, you will leave with one. I also offer a boot camp. If you're interested, send me an email. It's a 2-day program. I teach you 2 months worth of work in 2 days. At the end of those 2 days, you will have a completed grant application, that we are going to submit together. Keisha took the boot camp. She had never written a grant before in her life. 8 weeks later, she had a $100,000 grant. If you're interested, send me an email. It's $1,997 or 2 monthly payments of $1,249. This is for the special boot camp. And I teach you AI. And you leave with a list of grants, right? So it's very intense, 2 days, but you leave with that completed grant application and a list of grants, and you'll know how to use AI. It's an amazing opportunity for those who take it. Also, I'm inviting you tomorrow to attend a brand new training that I am offering. You will hear me talk a lot about having multiple strands of income, multiple streams of income, right? I always teach that. I'm teaching a special webinar tomorrow called Sell What You Know, 60 Minutes to Six Figures. It will teach you how to take information that you already know, something that you're good at. Maybe it's your profession, right? Maybe you're a coach. Maybe you're a content creator. Maybe you're a consultant. And I will teach you how to sell it in 60 minutes with webinars. It's totally free and it's totally proven. And so we're putting the link in the chat if you want to attend. Now, let me tell you about some testimonials. These people that you're about to see, they just bought the course. They just bought the $300 course. They just bought the $300 course. And this is the amount of money that they're winning. June 2nd, Nicola won $250,000. She paid $300 for a grant writing course, is writing grants, and won $250,000. Right? That was just this month. $200,000 was won by Whitney. She did exactly what I'm asking you to do. If you're going to seek grants, do so in a community that can support you. She did exactly what I'm asking you to do. She went local. She got $40,000 in local grant money, $50,000 in national grant money for a total of $200,000. Kanisha, $100,000 earlier this year. Think about the return on investment. They spent less than $300. Kimberly won $84,000. This was a few weeks ago. Cherie, $11,000 a few weeks ago. Think about the ROI. Tranquility Point Therapeutic Massage Company, I always point them out. They're a massage company. They won $20,000. They said the course has been life-changing for them, and it has. Like, what could you do with a $20,000 grant? Christina had never written a grant before in her life. She was horrified. She said, I didn't even have the confidence until I took the course. $10,000. $10,000 later, right? She spent less than $300. All right. I am done. It's Q&A time. So I'm going to stop sharing. Get to the Q&A. Get to the Q&A. Now, before I get to the Q&A, I need you all to do something for you, not for me, for you, because we're almost in July. It's time to go after the grant money. It has increased. You see the kind of money that's being won right now, regardless of what's going on in Washington. Let this course help you find where the money is and help you write it so that you can start winning grant money. But I want you to do something for you right now, not for me, because I believe in manifestation. I want you to write right now in the chat, all of you, I'm ready to get grant money. Get it from up here, release it. Like, it's time for you to get this grant money. And as I said, right now, there's a unique opportunity because people are thinking there are no grants. So the competition is a little less stiff now. That's why I want you to swoop in and start applying. Everybody right now in the chat, I want you to write, I am ready to get grant money. Write it for you. Write it for you. Chantrell, yes. Amanda, like, get this out of your system. Release this. I believe in manifestation. Release this. Some of you have been procrastinating. I know you have been sitting on the sidelines. And you see this money is available. That's what's so amazing. Margaret, yes. Amanda, Chantrell, I'm ready to get grant money. All right. All right. And really quickly, I will show you how to buy the course. I'm going to share my screen really quickly for those of you who are asking. Let's see. Let me get to, there we go. I want to share my screen really quickly, then we'll get to the Q&A. All right, so if you want to buy the course, you click on the link that I show you. It's in the chat. Click on the link. It's in the chat. You want to pay the $297, hit purchase now. Please put in your coupon code. It's JUNE30. Hit apply. It will take off $200. You're left with only $297. This is for everything I talked about, people. The course, the support to help you find grants, the Facebook group, the live group coaching. As you can see, women are winning grants as we speak. And then if you want to add the coaching, click the private session, $195. the total will be $492, but that is optional. You don't have to choose the expert coaching. You can just get the course for $297. Put in your email address. Now, when it's time to pay, again, you can pay with a credit card or a bank statement or PayPal or Google Pay. But if you want the 4 months same as cash, you may have to hit a little box that says pay another way. Then you'll see Affirm. We've got Klarna and Afterpay. All right. Those of you who just want to pay us twice, you can hit 2 times 275. Put in your code that will take it down to 175. That's JUNE30 with the little T. Hit apply. You're at 175 a month for 2 months, one and done, with all of the support that you need to help you get these grants. All right. Going to stop sharing. It's Q&A time. Chantrell says, I am a grant winner with multiple grants. So you see, it is possible. It is possible even now, even with the federal grant cuts. This is what I've been sharing with people. Even with the grant cuts coming from Washington, D.C., the local and corporate foundations, they're literally increasing their grant money. Whatever you do, please get into this game and get this grant money, right? So let me see if there are any questions. I'm going to go to the Q&A. I don't see any in the Q&A. I'm going to go through the webinar chat and see if I see any questions. There is not too late to ask your questions. Ask your questions. Let's see. Questions. This is your opportunity to ask a grants expert your questions about grants. All right, let's see. Any questions at all? Any grant questions? This is your opportunity. You'll have until July 4th to get the additional $200 off. So I ask you to come into our community so that we can help you find even more grant money if you're already receiving it, and where to look and where to go, right? Because you do need the help. You do need the help, and we're here to help you. All right, so let me just look through here again, make sure I see no grant questions. So everybody's good. Everybody, you have what you need. You don't have any grant questions. The link to buy the courses in the chat. Hopefully I will see you in the Facebook group. Those of you who are buying the course, you're going to get emails with the link to the Facebook group, and you will get a welcome email, and then you'll get your username and password. And if you come into the Facebook group, I will do something special for you. I will ask you to give me a synopsis of your organization. And guess what? I'm going to give you some links to grants. Come into the this is for those of you who are buying the course. You come into the Facebook group, you get access. We'll give you the email that will allow you to get the invitation, and we'll admit you so that you can start getting grants, right? So just keep in mind, I will give you some links to grants based on your specific organization. All right. All right. So whatever you do, please sign up for the session tomorrow. It will help you to determine how you can sell your expertise. Grants are for for-profits and nonprofits. Yes. We help for-profits and nonprofits. Absolutely, we do. There are probably as many for-profits in the course as there are nonprofits. Those, let me show you. This is for you, Chantrell. Let me see if I can share my screen and go back. Let's see if I can share my screen and go back. I'm going to go back to so Tranquility Point Therapeutic Massage, Chantrell, that's an LLC. As you can see, they got grant money, $20,000. Christina, I believe, has a nonprofit. Kimberly has an LLC. Cherie, she has a nonprofit. Whitney has a nonprofit. Kanisha has a nonprofit. Nicola, who just won $250,000, has an LLC. She has a for-profit. So grants are for for-profits and nonprofits. All right? Both. Absolutely both. And we help you regardless of whether or not you are a small business or a nonprofit, because there's grant money for both. All right. I don't see any questions. So I believe we are good. This is last call for questions. Yes, you will get the replay. You will get the replay for sure. And you have until July 4th. Hopefully, I will see you in the group so that we can get you the help that you need, right? Absolutely. All right. I believe we're done. My name is Linda Peavy, and I'm creator of the course Grant Writing for Non-Writers, Keys to Winning Grant Proposals. I want to thank you so much for hopping on because I know you could have been somewhere else. So thank you so much for joining us. And hopefully, whatever you do, don't stop. Whatever you do, don't give up. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. There's grant money available. And hopefully, I will see you in the grant writing course and in the Facebook group to get you the help that you need, because grants are very much still available, and we will show you how to write them, including using AI, because we're going to give you the AI guide so you can do this. All right. Thank you so much. Whatever you do, you have a blessed evening and stay safe and keep moving forward. Go out here and get this grant money. Hopefully, you'll allow us to help you. All right. Thank you so much. Have a safe and a blessed um, evening and a safe and blessed holiday weekend. The holiday is coming up. And think about it. Think about how you can get yourself some financial freedom finally. All right. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Look for your replay, and hopefully I will see you in the course this week. All right. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.